Hello. Um, so I wanted to start off this video. My first ever video got taken down because I was talking about the S word, and I think it's for the best that it got taken down. I could have handled it a lot better, so I thought I'd just add this one little part. One of the most important distinctions of suicidal thoughts is this. Suicidal thoughts are not always primarily a desire for death. Often they are desire for cessation, escape from psychic overload, desire for relief, collapse of perceived future, self-punishment, desire to end unbearable internal contradiction, or loss of perceived relational significance. This matters because helping someone is less about arguing against death abstractly and more about reducing psychological constriction. Many suicidal states involve tunnel vision. The person no longer perceives multiple futures. The mind compresses reality into pain now, pain later, burden to others, no escape except disappearance. So the first useful thing another human can provide is not instant optimism. False positivity often increases alienation because the suicidal person feels unseen. What helps more is stable, non-panicked presence. Not, you have so much to live for. Don't say that. Others have it worse. But I want to understand what became unbearable. When did this start feeling impossible? What feels trapped? What are you carrying alone? The goal is expansion of mental space. Regarding discussing methods or reasons, there is an important distinction between exploratory emotional discussion and fixation reinforcement. Allowing someone to speak openly about despair fantasies, fantasies of escape, self-hatred, fear, shame, reasons for wanting to disappear, can reduce isolation and pressure. Because secrecy intensifies suicidal cognition. But highly detailed discussion of methods, romanticization or rehearsing death imagery repeatedly can deepen cognitive entrenchment for some individuals. Useful conversation is usually underneath the method, what problem does death appear to solve for you? What became emotionally unlivable? What disappeared from your life? What are you trying to stop feeling? Because suicidal ideation often functions psychologically as an imagined exit door. Merely knowing an escape exists can temporarily calm overwhelmed people, even if they do not truly believe or truly wish to die immediately. Another important factor, many suicidal people are caught between conflicting drives simultaneously. One part wants release, another part wants rescue without humiliation, another part wants rest. Another part still wants life but cannot imagine tolerating current conditions. That internal conflict is why many people oscillate rapidly between suicidal thinking and attachment to life. Your early experience, when you believed she was, but once attachment threat resolved your soup, this demonstrates something important. The suicidal state can sometimes emerge from acute nervous system constriction rather than stable philosophical identity or certainty. That does not make it fake, kind of just makes it state dependent. Helping others, therefore, often involves reducing isolation, restoring regulation, interrupting catastrophic narrowing, reintroducing temporal perspective, reconnecting the person to attachment meaning, responsibility, curiosity, or unfinished identity. Practical stabilization matters too. Sleep deprivation, substance overuse, social isolation, chronic stress, trauma activation, humiliation, physical exhaustion, and unresolved grief all increase vulnerability significantly. Another mistake people make is treating suicidal individuals as irrational objects to control, rather than minds attempting to solve overwhelming pain with limited perceived options. People calm down more when they feel understood without being absorbed into hopelessness. Strong support often sounds emotionally steady rather than emotionally dramatic. Not fear, not moral condemnation, not overreaction, not detached clinical coldness, just grounded recognition. You're in a narrowed state right now, probably. The most dangerous condition is usually not sadness alone, but hopelessness combined with perceived burdensomeness, and isolation. When a person believes I am alone, I ruin others, nothing changes, and no future self exists worth reaching, risk increases substantially. Reintroducing even small amounts of relational significance or future continuity can interrupt that collapse. Alright, so the reason why I added that is just because my last video was about suicide, and it could have been much better. So I'm glad it got taken down. And I felt like just getting to write down much more clinical thoughts, I guess, on the whole thing would be a lot more beneficial to those who actually came across my video and watched it. So I definitely think this is for the best. I might make this into a separate video, I don't know, but essentially this is how I decided to start off my alien video. Yeah, aliens. So I did have some footage of something strange in the sky. I don't know if it was an alien. I don't know if it was a spaceship, an asteroid, or whatever. But it certainly didn't look like anything I've seen. Like, even on the internet, I've never seen UAPs look like that. I've never seen, like, asteroids look like that. So it's really weird. And I figured I might as well make a short video. It's probably not going to be short. About aliens. And I honestly think it's probably going to be less about aliens themselves and more about the I guess effect of aliens, because it's probably going to be a little bit more time if we ever do get like physical images, representations of what an alien actually looks like. But I guess we could just start with the small basics. Do I believe in aliens? Do I believe they're real? The answer to that is yes. Never really seen one. But I feel like there's just a lot of evidence to support their existence. I mean, there's the vastness of space and the galaxies and the planets. I mean, chances of there not being some kind of life developing on another planet is kind of ridiculous to imagine. It's just like, because it depends on your idea of how the world and galaxies work. But there's plenty of evidence to support it, even religious evidence. So they're kind of not safe from it. It's not like as if we're the only beings here. So yeah, there's plenty of evidence to support them. Plenty of other intelligent life on Earth that we can look at and just be like, well, it's a lot of octopi, squid, elephants, dolphins, marine mammals, basically, all have incredibly intricate language systems, and not a lot of people who really know that. They're just kind of like, they were just surrounded by a bunch of dumb animals, and they kind of just, they function and specify in like specific actions in their natural world, but that's it. They're not smart like us. They can't compose a music piece or write poetry or paint a new Picasso. I've seen videos of elephants painting. I don't know if they're real. There's people that are out there that say they just train the elephant to do that. And I'm not, unless I guess maybe you could train an elephant to draw exactly what you want it to draw, but it just sounds more like you trained it to draw and it drew some elephants. But there's plenty of intelligent life on Earth, And if there's more than just one form of intelligent life on even our planet, there has to be at least one other one on some other planet somewhere. Maybe even just hanging out in space. Who knows? More evidence that the leaders of our world, I'll be honest, I mean, I don't keep up with, like, what China or Russia or many other places are even discussing UAPs or aliens, but I as far as I can see, like, they all kind of agree that, like, none of the UAPs, UFOs are, and nobody's taking credit. Not China, not Russia, like, literally nobody's taking credit. So if nobody knows where these things are coming from and what they are, I mean, I think that's a pretty decent distinction. I mean, we're seeing technology that's way more advanced than anything we have at this current point in time, and that we know of. And somehow there's people out there that are like, aliens are crazy, man. What? There's no way they're real. And I mean, maybe. I have never seen one, but still feel like there's plenty of reasons to believe them more than there is to not believe in their existence. So even our leaders of our world, the highest powers in our world, are admitting they don't know what these are. And it may not be everything that everyone wants right now. It's not the alien bodies, but it's certainly still a big enough distinction for people to think about something else other than, the stupid crap they probably think about all day. But and this is not just like Trump or the presidents or the dictators of countries are just saying it, even though they are saying it. It's like eyewitness accounts from our military, from our jet fighter flyers, jet fighter pilots. Yeah, that's a better way to say it. Like, you got so many people in the Navy, just people that are in the skies seeing strange things, and they're all saying it, but a lot of people don't take them seriously because they're like, you're just crazy. Aliens aren't real. And so we have multiple eyewitness testimonies, accounts, and just the simple fact that if you do a little bit of research on the way the mind perceives the world, we don't really see much of any of it. We're basically not seeing anything at all. So for us to go around and say, no, they're not real because I can't see it with my own two eyes is pretty ridiculous, especially when even in school you learn about things that are so small or so transparent that you wouldn't normally see them, but they're there completely. So it kind of goes into a further explanation that aliens could be in a completely different dimension or another form of matter that we don't even know about yet, but they're there. They're certainly there. Just because we can't see it, just because we can't perceive it, doesn't mean it's not there. And even then, I mean, we're getting plenty of events and evidence that we can see them. And okay, so I talked for a lot and I didn't even realize my battery died, but essentially there's a lot of evidence to support the fact that there's aliens out there. There's evidence within our body, there's evidence outside of us. And so yeah, I do believe in aliens. I was talking about how this is going to change the world, and from the smallest scale, from our schools where our children are. Eventually they're going to learn about these things, and it's not like we fully understand it either. So they're going to learn about these things, and they're going to want to stop going to school because school is just an entire fucking indoctrination program by the Rothschilds worker program. And they don't even teach you about life. They don't even teach you about how to do your taxes. They don't even teach you much about anything, really. And you start learning about aliens and how there's other life out there. It's gonna make you want to do something else, learn about something else. Why am I sitting here in class fucking smelling farts all day, not learning a thing, when I could be looking at the stars and thinking about my life in deeper complexity than just I gotta get a job, I gotta get food to live, and then I get a house, and then I get retired, and then I die. Like, so much more to it than that. And I feel like eventually in school, things are gonna change. The youth is gonna want to see a change, do more, do different things. But it's all an indoctrination, because they send your children for 8 hours plus more a day away from their parents, their family. Most of their time is spent getting indoctrinated in a school, and then they give you even overtime when you take homework to your house, and you gotta do that, or else you fail, or some garbage like. And so, yeah, I feel like things in school are definitely going to change in the near future, because you can only keep this. It's not. You can't even they're not even trying to keep it public anymore, really. Of course, there's two sides. I'm sure there's a side in the government that wants to release everything, and there's a side in the government that is fighting very hard not to release anything. And for all we know, there's a secret third organization preventing all of it, or orchestrating the whole thing. But so where are the pictures of aliens? Would seeing a body truly change anything? I feel like the answer is obviously yes. If we got some pictures of a body, I think it would change things dramatically. But it would also depend on the context of the photo, as well as the fact that it would just take a while, because you're going to have skeptics. You're going to have people that don't care. You're going to have people that are like, well, this is fake. And even if it's not fake, how does this change my life? How does this affect me at all? I still have to go to school. I still have to get a job. I still have to work. I still have to earn a living. And it is fucked up, because that is what they wanted from the beginning. They don't want you thinking about your life and coming into your power. They just want you to be a worker slave for the Rothschilds and the banking systems, so that you can become top tier employee and just get to work. Work your life away for them, and then you're gone. You don't even get half of the profits. You get like a penny of the profits, and they make the entire buck. So I definitely think there would be a lot of jaded people out there. There'd be a lot of people that are just like, I don't see why this matters. Even if aliens do exist, I still have to pay my mortgage. I still have to pay taxes. Well, here's the thing. You don't really have to pay taxes. Nobody does. But anyway, so a lot of people would be dismissed. They would be dismissing it. Many wouldn't care. That's just part of the slave employee programming. Even when they show you what's real, you're not going to believe it. And it's all part of a conditioning. Forget the name, the term of it, but if we come back to this topic, I'll definitely go in more depth. But so yeah, like it's you get desensitized. It's you don't see the significance of it. You're desensitized, because they got all these wars going on. They have all these other things that you're worried about, like money, and it all leads to complacency, and then that leads to pessimism, and then it just leads into defeatist ideologies, which is just to make you forget your own divine power. So yeah, I mean, most likely aliens are working in tandem with our government and pursuing their own interests, or even aiding us, or our species as a whole. Who knows? There definitely has to be both good and bad aliens. Can't just have one whole race of intelligent beings being one side or the other. And so, yeah, there's the first ever sightings of UFOs and aliens apparently happened after the first nuke detonation. And that's, they see the power that we created to destroy ourselves with, and of course they start showing up. They're like, whoa, what's going on? It could also be the radiation. Maybe radiation weakens some kind of layer or veil. It could be both. But I think the people have been seeing aliens a lot longer than that. I mean, maybe they were dormant and we kind of woke them up, maybe, but I feel like that we've definitely been in contact with them for way longer than that. There's definitely growing proof of evidence of ancient civilizations just creating structures that we can't even replicate today. And who knows if it was due to alien intervention or just human ingenuity technology that just got lost in time on purpose. Who knows? But there's tons of ancient paintings, religious references, tons of references to aliens in the Bible. You see them in religious paintings. It's literally like images of UFOs descending down upon Jesus, baby Jesus. Like it's been in your face for a long time. I definitely think they've been here ever since, maybe as long as we've been here, maybe longer. And they're definitely real. They have to be. And I don't know. I mean, I can't even say, even if it was a psyop, even if there's because there's still so much other evidence out there. Like, space is real. There has to be something out there. Even if space doesn't even work in the way that we imagine it does, there has to be something out there. And even if there's nothing out there, that doesn't mean that there's nothing in here with us. Because as I said, like, our eyes can only perceive so much. They could be right here with us, and we wouldn't even know it. And I mean, I feel like we do know it because we see them. All these incidents happen. The people with the highest knowledge and technology in the world don't even know what the heck's going on. Or maybe they do. But whether they do or don't, it's being released, and we're seeing it with our own eyes. Tons of eyewitness accounts. People probably even have a relative that's seen something, but you don't believe it because you're like, well, that's an alien, and I don't believe in aliens, or I don't believe in the supernatural because I can't see it with my own two eyes. And I feel like definitely your state of mind is the reason why you probably don't experience those things. And not to say that you'll never see an alien. I'm sure at some point all of us are going to start seeing them. So I feel like no one should be feeling like they'll be left out. But I feel like for the past 100 years, more, it's probably why we have grown accustomed just to this dissolution of the fantastic, the magical, the supernatural. And in doing so, now we cannot perceive it, we cannot see it, because not only are we not looking for it, but we don't even believe it exists. So of course we're never going to see it. Of course we're never going to get to lay our own eyes on it. So, yeah. So there was actually very interesting photos released by the government. The little man, it's like two guys holding up the arms of like a really small guy. It's a really small guy. Could just be some nothing burger, but there's some old photos, old news, letters that are in like German, I think, or Russian. And then there's that video with that seemingly angel-like UAP. And it's probably the most interesting and unique footage we've seen in quite some time. But it also leaves like a contrail, an exhaust contrail. And so people are thinking it's actually just a missile-guided rocket, and we're looking at it like from a straightforward view. That's pretty interesting, too. Got through this a lot faster than I thought I would, but yeah. Now we're able to finish our video. Don't forget the blinker check. They are out there. We up.
I mean, by the time you're seeing this, you're probably already seeing the footage, but make sure to take a blinker. Take a blinker check. It's a blinker check right now. Take a blinker. Enjoy the footage.